In this video, we are going to be multiplying rational expressions. So we're going to be multiplying those very fancy fractions. Here are our steps for multiplying rational expressions. It's very similar to simplifying rational expressions, except that we have two fractions. So the first step is to factor each numerator and denominator. The second step is to cancel common factors. So when you're canceling the common factors, you can cancel going vertically up and down in the same fraction, and then you can also cancel diagonally. Okay, you can cancel a numerator and a denominator from different fractions, but you can never cancel side to side. You can't cancel a numerator with a numerator and a denominator with a denominator. So vertically or diagonally is how you're going to cancel those common factors. And then the last step is just to multiply. But we're fine with your fractions being in factored form, so I just say that this is the squeeze together step. Lots of factoring practice here. All right, so number 7, we have x plus 4 times x over x minus 7 times x squared minus 21 over x squared minus 16. Okay, so when I look at my first fraction, you can see I'm ready for my scratch work. I have x plus 4 in the numerator. Well, that can't be factored, so I'm just going to write it, and I'm going to put it in parentheses so I remember that it's a unit, over x minus 7. Well, the x minus 7 also can't be factored. So I have x plus 4 over x minus 7. When then I go to the next fraction, I have x squared minus 4x minus 21 in the numerator. That's a trinomial that I bet is going to factor using split b. So I'm going to do my little scratch work off to the side so I keep my problem nice and neat. So I'm looking for factors of negative 21 that give me negative 4. So that's going to be a negative 7 times 3. So I'll split up b into a negative 7x plus 3x, and then bring down my first and last term. All right, I'll do my groups. In the first group, I'll plot an x. That leaves me with x minus 7. Bring down the plus. In the second group, I have a 3. That leaves me with x minus 7. The x minus 7's match, so I've got x minus 7 times x plus 3. All right, so now I factored the first numerator, or the second numerator rather. So it's x minus 7 times x plus 3. All right, now I'll look at my denominator. My denominator is x squared minus 16. Well, the only way that I can factor a two-term polynomial, remember, is difference of squares or if there's a GCF. Well, obviously there's no GCF, but it does factor into the difference of squares because x squared is a perfect square and 16, and I have the minus in between. So it's going to factor into x minus 7 times x plus 4. So I'll write that factored form in the denominator. Now that my fractions have all been factored, I'm ready to do step 2. Step 2 is to cancel common factors. So remember, we can do it up and down vertically, or we can do it diagonally. All right, so I see that I have an x minus 4 in one numerator and an x minus 4 in a different denominator. So that was a diagonal cancellation, so they canceled. And then I have the same thing going on where I can cancel my x minus 7s. All right, now it's just kind of the squeeze together part. And here, there's not much squeezing together to do. So what am I left with? I'm left with an x plus 3 in the numerator over x minus 4. And that is my product in simplified form. All right, let's look at number 8. We have 4x plus 8 over 3x squared minus 6x times 3x squared minus 4x minus 4 over 9x squared minus 4. So we've got some good factoring going on in this problem that we're going to have to do. All right, first fraction. My first numerator is 4x plus 8. So I ask myself, how many terms? It's 2 terms. My only options, GCF or difference of squares. So I see that they share 4. So I'm going to pull that out, and that leaves me with x plus 2. So my first fraction is numerator is 4 times x plus 2. Now I'll look at the denominator. So it's 3x squared minus 6x, right? 2 terms, not difference of squares. It's going to be a GCF factoring. So what do they share? Look at the numbers first. The 3 and the 6 would share a 3 in common, and they share 1x in common. So when I divide each of these by 3x, that leaves me with x minus 2. So I have 3x times x minus 2. All right, so I'm halfway done. Going to the next fraction, 3x squared minus 4x minus 4 is in the numerator. So let's do our scratch work. 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. So 3 times negative 4, or a times c, is negative 12, and b is negative 4. So that means I'm going to be looking for a negative 6 times 2. So I'm going to split up b into a negative 6x and a positive 2x, and then I'll bring down my first and last term. All right, I'll do my grouping. I'll pull out a 3x first, and that leaves me with x minus 2. Bring down the plus. The next group shares a 2. And that leaves me with x minus 2. X minus 2's match. So I have x minus 2 times 3x plus 2. All right, and we have one more part to factor, and it's our denominator, 9x squared minus 4. All right, this is the difference of perfect squares. 9 is a perfect number. X squared is perfect because it's an even power, and 4 is perfect. So I'm going to factor it into 9 is 3 times 3, so they each get a 3. X squared is x times x, so they each get an x. 4 is 2 times 2, so they each get a 2, and then the signs are different. All right, now I'll put that back into my fraction, 3x plus 2 times 3x minus 2. So we just did a lot of factoring, so you might want to take a quick rest and then jump into the canceling. All right, remember we can cancel vertically or we can cancel diagonally, never side to side. So it doesn't matter where you start, but I see a 3x minus 2 in both fractions that I can cancel. And then I see a 3x plus 2 in one fraction numerator and one fraction denominator that can cancel. And then I look around and do I see any other common factors? I don't. So now I'm going to do the multiplication, which you're going to see is what I call the squeeze step. So I'm just going to put everything that's in my numerator together in one fraction. So that just is the 4 times x plus 2. And then I have a 3x from one fraction and a 3x minus 2 from the other. So I'll just put those two factors together. All right, and that is my simplified product. What did we do again? We factored, then we canceled, then we squeezed it all together into one fraction. So when you're working with multiplying rational expressions, it's just an opportunity to get lots of factoring practice in, remembering to look at the number of terms and asking yourself, how do I factor a 2-term polynomial? How do I factor a 3-term polynomial? How do I factor a 4-term polynomial? The secret is good factoring.